video, I'm going to test out some games that can run smoothly on this machine at under 10 watts. Alright, so the first game is Dragon Ball Z Budokai. This one's a fighting game. I'm not sure if you guys are into it or if you're good at it, but personally, I really like it. It only needs 9 watts. Basically, it runs at 60 frames. Oh wow, damn. Alright, even when I'm beat, it's still running super smoothly. As you can see, it's locked at 9 watts right now, and with 79% battery left, you can still play for 4.5 hours. That's really impressive. The total system power consumption is only 13.8 watts. Hello. The second game is Hades 2. Let's take a look at the power consumption. Right now, I've set it to 8 watts, but after entering the game, the power usage doesn't even reach 8 watts. It's just about 7.5 watts, and the total system power is around 10 watts. As you can see, with about 10 watts and 59% battery left, you can still play for over 4 hours at 60 frames per second. Alright, let's go into the game and check out some combat scenes. Okay, there are quite a few enemies now. Look at the frame rate in the top left corner, it barely fluctuates at all. Also, the power consumption never even reaches 8 watts. It's just around 7 watts. For this game, you can play with less than 8 watts, and the battery life is really long. Alright, finally, let's talk about our tower climbing game. It's a card building game. The graphics are really simple, but the depth of the card building mechanics is very rich. It's also a really fun game, and it was even ported to the Nintendo Switch, the first generation. But on the Switch, it still experiences some frame drops. Here, though, let's just take a look at the power consumption. I've locked it at 4 watts, which should be the lowest you can set with this tactile assistant. Right now, the total system power consumption is only about 7 watts, and at 57% battery, you can still play for 6.6 hours. However, if you play at the highest resolution, when you're fighting monsters, let me refocus the camera. When you're fighting monsters, there will be a little bit of hold on a second. Why is there a combo? Let me see. So when you're being attacked, or when monsters hit you, or when you're drawing cards, there will be this kind of... There will be some frame rate fluctuations, but it's not a big deal, damn. Not sure what's going on. I'll just use my hand directly. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This game mode doesn't seem particularly, well, you know. Alright, that's good now. I'm just playing casually, not seriously, just showing everyone how it works. See, it's all at 58 frames, around 60 frames, no issues at all. There's also the blood drop effect. When you hit a monster or get hit by one, the 60 FPS might drop by 1 or 2 frames, maybe 2 or 3, but really, it's no problem. If you're on a business trip, say, and you have this handheld console, or maybe the C8 or 258V device in your hand, playing this game, you could easily get more than 7 or 8 hours of playtime, no problem. So if you're traveling on the road, on a train or a plane, you can play these games. I'm going to show you how this device runs Elden Ring, just to give you an idea of its performance. But after trying it out myself, I have to say the results aren't particularly great. Let me show you this. I noticed a problem. After you download this motion control assistant, toggling the turbo boost will affect the frame rate, and the impact is actually quite significant. Right now, with turbo boost turned off, it's running at about 30 frames per second, and the total system power consumption at 15 watts is 24.4 watts. Now, if I turn turbo boost on, you can see the frame rate goes up 35 frames per second. around 35 frames per second. Alright, let's run it again and take a look. When moving slowly, the frame rate goes up to 40 frames per second. But let's see what happens when you sprint. When sprinting, the frame rate becomes unstable. It fluctuates within a range of about 10 frames, between 30 and 40 frames per second. This is what I mentioned earlier. This chip inherits some of the strengths and weaknesses of the 370. Its frame rate fluctuation is quite significant. Alright, now it's running at 20 watts, still at 1200p. The total power consumption is 29.3, and the frame rate reaches about 50 frames per second when standing still, around 50 to 55 frames. Alright, let's run again and take a look. When running, the frame rate drops to 40, even to 39. As soon as you run, it drops to around 40 frames per second. Alright, now it's already locked at 30 watts, but its actual power consumption doesn't reach 30 watts. The peripheral and total system power consumption is 38.3 watts, but now the frame rate has actually dropped. Okay, finally, let's try lowering the resolution while setting the power consumption to 15 watts to see if that improves things. Let's lower it directly. 1280 by 800. This is the resolution of the Steam Deck OLED. Alright, let's check the frame rate. It's definitely improved. Just now it was a bit over 30 frames, but now standing it's already at 46 frames. Okay, let's run around and see if the frame rate fluctuates much. Yeah, there are still some frame rate fluctuations, but it's less than before, maybe around a 7 or 8 frame difference. Before it was 10, now 7 or 8. It's not bad. I feel like after switching to this resolution, the overall performance is better. Wait, what? Why is there a monster here? Oh no, I didn't lock onto it. Alright, it's running very smoothly, no issues at all. Actually, 800p quality is more suitable for handheld devices. Plus, its power consumption is really low. Take a look. Right now, with 74% battery left, at 15 watts you can play for about 2.5 hours. If you fully charge it, 3 hours shouldn't be a problem. Alright, that's it for this video.